As autumn approaches and we begin to retreat indoors more often, I think it's the perfect time to transform our homes into havens of comfort and rest. I'll admit that lounging in front of the TV during the cooler months is very tempting, but personally, it never leaves me feeling truly rested. As a mom now, I'm exploring better ways to spend our time indoors that are both restful and engaging. A lot of my inspiration for this comes from childhood memories of Sunday family dinners because they were always so lively yet relaxing at the same time, with so many people helping out in the kitchen to card games being played in the other room. The atmosphere was always just full of warmth and love. And I truly believe that each of us can achieve this in our own homes with just a little bit of effort. So today I'll be sharing practical ways to do exactly this, and I'm going to be going beyond just regular routines and sharing some ideas that will truly foster genuine connection and coziness. Let's get started. What do you think of when I say the word cozy? For me, it's associated with delicious aromas and warm and fuzzy feelings. The first way that I am trying to create more of a cozy atmosphere in our home is by making bread on a weekly basis. I recently started doing this and I am definitely still considered a learner in this category, but it truly has been so rewarding to, work with my hands in making that dough and be able to reap the benefits as soon as it comes out of the oven. The aroma and the taste of homemade bread is honestly unmatched. It's like warmth and love and coziness in one loaf. I find that it helps to slow down time a little bit, and it really just brings me back to a simpler way of living. I definitely recommend this if you are willing to experiment in the kitchen. I've got a couple of recipes that I've tried already, and they're definitely beginner friendly, I would say, so I'm gonna link those down below, and if you have any of your own bread recipes that you love to make, feel free to comment them too. Now, while we're on the topic of learning, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Skillshare. You might recall that I spent the summer learning watercolor painting, and now as the fall season approaches, I am switching gears and focusing my creative energy on culinary skills in the kitchen. So I'm talking chopping skills, bread making, new recipes, and so on. If you're unfamiliar with Skillshare, it is the largest online learning community for creatives, and they have a whole range of topics to choose from cooking to crafting, productivity hacks, and so much more. And what's really great about Skillshare is that these classes are taught by industry experts. It's definitely something that stood out to me personally because now you're getting really valuable information no matter which class you click on. The on-demand platform allows you to stack lessons and pick and choose when you would like to join the classes, which makes it very flexible to do on your own time and on your own terms. It's a great way to hone a skill that you already have or to start right from scratch at beginner level and move up to pro within your own time frame. So if you're interested in learning something new this fall or honing a skill that you already have, the first 500 people that use my link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. A few other really practical ways to create a cozy atmosphere within your home is just by pulling out your heavier blankets and laying them over the couch. Maybe you want to keep them folded, it's totally up to you. Pull out your heavier, throw pillows, put a blanket on your bed, on your reading chair. Just make it ready and available for you to cozy up in. Additionally, if you have cooler lighting in your home, you might be interested in switching out the light bulbs to something a little bit warmer and perhaps dimmable, because obviously during those colder months, the sun rises a little later and it also sets a little earlier. At least that's true here where I live in Vancouver. So it's nice to just have lamps available to create a warm ambiance in each room. Now, moving on to ways to create more restful engagement within the home, I'm going to list out some screen-free activities. This could be for families, for couples, people with children. Honestly, anybody could really partake in these, but I'm not a TV hater, okay? I do love a good movie. I love to watch a good series of shows on Netflix, on Disney, so I'm definitely not someone who doesn't watch TV, but I do think that it's better in moderation. So for us in our family, we're really gonna make it a priority this upcoming season to just choose alternative activities rather than turning the TV on every time we have downtime or we're stuck inside. outside. I think for us, when things are out of sight, they're definitely out of mind, especially if we don't use the item very frequently. So for us, we've got a box of cards and games within our TV media unit. Because they're stored away, we don't typically reach for them. So what I'm gonna do a little differently this upcoming season is just put them out on our coffee table in a basket so that they're easy and they're just right there to grab when we're feeling a little bit bored. Another thing we're gonna be doing is keeping our question cards on the dining room table. We just have a little centerpiece with a tray, so I'm just gonna leave them there because I think it's a really fun way to create engaging conversations during meals. And like I said, when it's out of sight, it's out of mind. Sometimes we just honestly forget that we have them, and so they don't get put to use. So just having them out in the open, I'm hoping is gonna help us engage in these activities more often. Another engaging but restful activity that you could try out is by creating a mini book club. This could be between you and another person, or it could be between the whole family. It doesn't really matter, and it also doesn't need to be as formal as it sounds. My husband and I simply chose an audiobook that we wanted to listen to. It's in the parenting category, and sometimes we'll just turn that on before we go to bed, and it naturally sparks conversation if something resonates with us. So I think it's a great way to, get some new information up in your head, but also have meaningful conversations with your loved ones as well. For those times where you really just want to sit down and relax, another alternative to TV time would be doing puzzles. This is a great activity that you can pretty much leave out and, go back to anytime you want. So it's just ongoing, easy, relaxing engagement. You can talk while you're doing it. It's just a very simple activity, but it definitely still, stimulates the brain at the same time. Lastly, in this category is activities for littles. So I have an almost 1.5-year-old. I know that once the rain comes, we're going to be having a lot of indoor time, and we try our best to limit her screen time just because that's our choice as parents. And so we got her a little sensory table, and so that I'm more prepared when those rainy days come, I have a little supply box with a whole bunch of goodies in there to mix and match and reuse over and over again in kind of like Montessori activities where you just put them on a tray. They keep her engaged for 15 to 30 minutes at a time, and I know that seems like a very small portion of the day, but it allows me to do the things I need to do as well, and it keeps her engaged without turning on a device. So I guess my tip here would be to have some supplies on hand for those really fun and simple kids activities so that you're not really scrambling and wondering what to do with them when the weather outside is a little bit yucky. Now, having just listed a whole bunch of restful, engaging activities that involve other people, I want to just list out a couple of things that I find help to balance rest alone and restful engagement with other people. So the number one thing is that having a cozy place or a cozy spot, a nook, whatever you want to call it, to retreat to when you're feeling maybe a little overwhelmed or like you need some quiet and solitude is really nice for allowing for that balance in the household. It's honestly as simple as rethinking your spaces and the layout of the rooms in your home to create these cozy nooks, especially when the weather gets really rainy and cold outside and you just want to cozy up indoors. Another practical way to balance rest and engagement in your home is by setting a designated device spot. So this could be charging your phone, your laptop, your children's devices, making a spot for them and having them just kind of put there during the day as well as in the nighttime when you're sleeping is actually surprisingly helpful. Creating a restful environment isn't just about physical comfort. It's about fostering genuine connections, engaging in meaningful activities, and nourishing ourselves and those around us. I encourage you to try at least one of these this upcoming season. Start small, maybe make a loaf of bread, start a games night, experiment with different activities within your home and see where it takes you. I would love to hear from you, so let me know in the comments if you are team cards or team board games. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.